Welcome to the 7 Talk. Before you watch, please subscribe to our channel.
Yes, thank you so much, our dear listeners there. This is the 7 Talk FaceOff, and it's me today, Watenga Silagi Wamini, the former presidential contestant for LSS. I'm here with the giants themselves, the top presidential leaders of LSS, and there are two contestants in the house. We have Martin Musasizi and Kakaire Umar. Thank you so much. We're here to listen to them, and I'm the moderator for today. Let them tell us what they have for the LSS. Yes, a good afternoon, dear gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Yes, how are you?
I'm okay. Good afternoon.
Alhamdulillah.
That's good.
Yes. Kindly introduce yourself to the listeners outside there and those people that watch us there.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Kakaire Umar, an aspirant for the position of presidency LSS. Today I'm with my man himself.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Dear listeners and viewers out there, my name is Musasizi Martin, aspiring for the position of LSS President, and we are glad to be here on the 7 Talk, the FaceOff, with my colleague, and I hope everything goes well.
Okay, thank you so much. You're most welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Please feel free.
Thank you.
Kindly, we're just going to have a brief talk about LSS. Kindly tell the listeners and the viewers what is LSS. Somebody would wish to know what LSS is. I'm starting with Martin. What is LSS?
Thank you very much once again. LSS is an abbreviation that stands for the Law Student Society, and the LSS we are talking about is the one in Mbale, IUSU main campus, and that is where we are at the moment. And it is basically an association of students, especially law students, because every faculty of law or every school of law has a student society that helps them in co-curricular activities, in cultural activities, in their different aspects outside class that helps them to better themselves. So that is the kind of society that we have. And at the moment, we are aspiring to be the presidents of that society.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, please. Thank you so much. He gave us what LSS is. Kindly tell us the background of LSS.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator. The LSS came
Mainly major at main campus. I main campus, because you said there are all universities having law, different faculties. On these, they have association.
Yes.
So faculty of law from different universities have those associations. So kindly make sure you streamline to LSS campus.
Thank you so much. The LSS of main campus, the background or its background of the LSS or its constitution, the members or the people who sat down to make sure that this society is here or the association itself is in existence, for them what they put in mind, they were considering unity, equality, and then the social development of its members or the members of the association as the law society itself.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So you said
Unity, social development, and equality among its members.
among its members.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. So much. You said. So who are the members of LSS? That one goes to Martin. You gave us what LSS means. Then who belongs to the society? Who are the members of LSS? And how can one become a member of LSS?
There are categories of members in the society, basically two. We have the ordinary members and the other category of those who are not ordinary members. Now, how does one become a member? First, by virtue of them being a law student at IUSU main campus, they are members of the Law Student Society. However, they need to have subscribed the LSS fee that they pay every academic year, which is a sum provided for in the Constitution. So for one to be that ordinary member, they need to pay. They need to be a law student, and they also need to pay that subscription fee so that they can affiliate with the LSS. And the other category of members is those.
That one, the one, my point of emphasis.
Yeah, the other category of members are those who have ceased to be students of IUSU main campus faculty of law. Those cease to be the ordinary members and they join the other category. and they can still affiliate themselves with the society regardless of regardless of them not being students anymore. Those we're talking about, the alumni and the other people.
Thank you so much, Mr. Martin. Of late, we had the problems of interpretation on who is a member of LSS. Thank you so much. That's your opinion. To you now, Umar, who is a member of LSS?
A member of LSS, by virtue of it being a society or an association, a member who belongs to that association is a member. Or for example, that people who are coming here as law students and they are members. And then another thing, those people are supposed to subscribe to to that society. That's the amount of 20,000 that they are supposed to pay. And then with that, we are looking at the honorable members. This is another category of the members of our society. And these are the people who have gone ahead to make sure that they participate or they give in a hand in the activities of the society for them to be guided as honorable members. Therefore, they are members of our society.
Yes. Yes. Then my question now comes in. Do you mean one who has not paid LSS is not a member of LSS? Let me start with Martin.
A person who has not paid the LSS fee is still a member, but they do not enjoy the rights as those people who have paid the LSS fee. So they do not have the right to voting, they do not have the right to participating in the society activities because they have not subscribed. So that excludes them from being the ordinary members. They are still part of the society, but they don't have those rights as provided for.
Okay, so they're not members until they subscribe.
Until they subscribe.
That's your point. Okay.
According to me, every person, whether you are subscribed or not subscribed, is a member of LSS or the society that we all belong together because we are lawyers. By the virtue that we came here and we paid school fees or we got admissions to be law students in our faculty, that makes us being members of the society. However, there goes an exception because the Constitution says that a person is a member, but if he does not subscribe to the 20,000, that person is going to be excluded from some activities, but that does not imply him being a member. Therefore, we are all members of our society.
Okay. Proper interpretation of Article 5. It says ordinary membership now. That all law students shall be members of the society and shall pay subscription fees from time to time as shall be determined by the General Assembly. So the law does not stipulate the time when this fee shall be paid. To me, my understanding, I think somebody is a member pending payment. They can pay it at a later stage, but they are members of the society. That's the interpretation I'm construing. Thank you so much for that. Then another question. This is quickly landing to Martin. Why did you pick interest in LSS? Let me start from there. Why do you think you're good for this position of LSS?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. One is that when I came to law school in Yawan, there was no society at the moment, and I was a class coordinator by then. So we were called to.
You said there was no society?
The society was there, but the structures were not grounded. They were still, in shambles at the moment. Because I think by the time we came, we were from lockdown, and the whole thing was not yet back as it was previously. So when we came, we were welcomed by members of Inya 4, Inya 3, and these people showed us the way. They told us to embrace the society. They told us to embrace the activities of the society. Though at that time, there was none. So I remember there was a president at that time was called Mukasha. So he called us to the consultative council, and he was telling us that we need to rebuild the society. We need to restructure it because there was nothing taking place. So from that time, I saw the way these people were, involved in society activities, the way they were trying to put a brick on ensuring that the society gets better. That's where I picked interest in participating in the society activities. So I embraced all the society activities, the moot courts, the debates, and the other activities. So from there, I feel that I can build something like those people did that if I take up this position, I can put a break and I start from where those people stopped.
Okay. History has it that you were a coordinator, and by default, when you're a coordinator in LSS in any of the or in any of the classes, you sit on the consultative board, consultative council. History has also tracked that you were a published secretary for Moot Court. Yes. History further tracks that the general secretary under Onyango Silva's regime, yes, the current president, yes, of LSS. And when you go and look at the duties of the general secretary, and to anyone with understanding, a general secretary is like a president. If you want to reach the president, there are no ideas that the president can execute without sharing them with the secretary, or even the secretary bringing ideas that can be executed by the president. So with those leadership positions that you've had in LSS, what do you think is not done? What do you think has been left behind that you want to change? Because you're in a good position of change for the society. You're the general secretary. What didn't you do, and why do you think this is the time that you can do them?
I was the general secretary. Actually, I am the general secretary right now, and the outgoing. The constitution stipulates activities, roles the general secretary has to play, and though they work in conjunction with the president, but everyone has a role to play. And the president is the fountain of honor, he's the fountain of honor, and so therefore he can either take your opinion or not follow your opinion. It is up to him. And as I was the general secretary, actually all the leadership positions are.
Do you want to say that there's some opinions you gave the president and he dropped?
Yeah, there are some opinions. There are some things I presented to the president,
yes,
and he decided not to go with them because he also had his own agenda that he needed to follow. So there was no way I could put my agenda on him. So whatever he had is what we had to work with. And it is from those things that I see that there are things he has left out that if I am in that position, then I can work to better the society, to take on from where he has stopped. Because all those leadership positions that you have mentioned, I've learned from the various leaders that I've worked under with. Because they say a good leader was once a good follower. So it is from that I believe if I am entrusted with that position, there's a lot I can change from the lot that I have learned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Back to Umar Kakaire. Why do you think you're good for this position?
Thank you so much for that question. And the reason why I think I'm good for that position, yes, I trace it back to the times that when I joined this institution, IUSU main campus. When I joined, I came when people had just studied for some time. I came here, I was very stranded to whom to go to, and where to get the approaches, where to go for some activities, where to register from, where to approach the law from. On that point, there was no government. There was there, but the people who were there.
You are saying there was no government by then.
And the government was there, but it was not.
You're forgetting that LSS was there even in 2009.
Yes.
The government was there, but its structures or its activities were not seen. Therefore, if they were there, how could I suffer where to go and get the admission from? Where would I suffer to go and where to find where to go and get my registration from? And from that point, I was recognizing that's when they called for a consultative meeting. However, by that period, I couldn't attend such a meeting because I was not the coordinator of the class. But I wanted to go and see what happens there that side when they go there. When they came out, they said that we are looking of a way of making the government work properly. And then that's when we went for elections. With that, I've been much aggravated by many of the issues that my leaders who come into power have not addressed their mindset. For example, I'm a culprit that I've been missing my marks. So for example, when I was in year 2, I missed 2 papers. But again, there was a difficulty of pressing for that paper because even the committees that were set up by our leaders, they were not functioning.
Papers or you missing marks?
Missing marks.
Yes.
Yeah. I could not find the person who is going to help me to go about that because the committees who were there, they could not help me trace my marks. Because I didn't even know who was the mood chairperson, the academic chairperson, we are trying to. And many people, for example, I'll give the example of the earphones, for example, right now. The calcium has changed. The LODC, it has been extended to August. Remember the issue of the missing marks. We're having people in year 4. Their marks are still missing, but they are supposed to go to register to LDC. How are you going to go about that? On that point, the issues that are not addressed, but our leaders have not addressed their mind at. They are the issues that I'm looking at to put them proper as a leader. Because I'm having people that are on my back are telling me to go help them.
Thank you so much. On that still, the issue of missing marks, yes, that's why I wanted you to stress out. Is it missing marks or missing papers? See, an issue of missing marks has been a continuous cry.
It is the missing marks.
Yes, there has been a continuous cry. What are some of the measures that you intend to use to solve such a problem?
According to me, I'll go back to give an example of where I started. I missed my marks, but I couldn't find anywhere to go. I couldn't find a person to help me to go about that. But as a person, when I'm in power, what I'm looking at is that I'm looking at a way of creating the student's administrative office. The office is going to be as the alternative center for all students. For example, when a person is missing marks, to make sure that he or she comes to that office and we make proper that the academic guide committee traces for the marks of that person, so that that person gets a remit. Because one of the issues that we're having today, people are missing marks, but they don't know whom to approach to. They are skipping the procedure and are taking the lecturers who are having the marks. But if we do any efforts, because these committees are supposed to help students on some issues, for example, missing marks. But if we go through the procedure and then we follow the committees, I think that's going to help us get our marks in time.
Okay, thank you so much. Back to Martin. The issue of missing marks has been a public cry which has lasted for long at the society. What are some of the amicable measures that you think are fit for such a cry to solve the issue?
The issue of missing marks, as my colleague has stated, it has been, prevailing over the past couple of years. People missing their marks, they sit for the exam, and they end up not having their marks. I fell victim of that in year 1, first semester. I missed out on constitutional history marks, and at that time I was a class coordinator. So I was like a gap between the students and the lecturers. So I engaged the lecturers at that time to ensure that my and other students' marks were recovered. And fortunate enough, those marks, for those students that I tried to help, were recovered. However, that is just a small percentage of how many are missing their marks. And this goes back to the leaders that we have in the society, the leaders that are entrusted with these positions to ensure that students' opinions, students' outcries are put to the administration, and this is what we want to do. The academic guide committee is put by the constitution. It's there in place. However, if we put the people that have the zeal, that fight, that spirit of helping people, of helping students, then we can amicably come to a conclusion of that prevailing problem. But this calls for dialogue between two people. Actually three. 1, the students. 2, the lecturers. And 3, the faculty administrators. If we sit together and we come up with a good plan, or we come to an understanding on how and why are the student marks missing, then we can solve the problem of missing marks. And I believe this can only be done if we work together as students, as a society. If we move as a unit, then nothing can stop us.
Still on missing marks, you have similar ideas. Seems you have similar ideas in the solution, and it is like the solution of missing marks is all centered on the Law Academic Guide Committee. But this Law Academic Guide Committee has existed ever since I joined the Islamic University in Uganda, that is 2019. But still an issue of missing marks has continuously occurred. What are some of the things, in your capacity as the General Secretary, that you have left on table maybe for the coming regime to start on to make sure that this is solved and put to an end. Really, the low academic guide committees have been tried and they've not worked out, even when they've had the most capable leaders. The one academic guide committee was led by Mogisha, another one was led by John Bosco, but all of them have not yielded results. What are some of the measures besides the Law Academic Guide Committee? It seems the Law Academic Guide Committee will not work. What are some of the measures, the extraordinary measures that people put in place? I'm starting with Martin.
Thank you very much. Aside from the Law Academic Guide Committee, one thing that helps people in times of trouble is unity and togetherness. Because yes, we put these leaders in those positions, but we leave them there. We leave everything to them. How about we start moving as a whole? The students, even those who do not have missing marks, but we fight for the same goal. We fight for the same cause. There is nothing that can stop us in that aspect. I know very many leaders have tried, coming up with solutions to that, and I can assure you, as the General Secretary, we try to put some energy on the Law Academic Guide Committee to make a report on as to why the marks are missing. Give us a report, that why are marks missing and how can that problem be solved. But this all goes back to us as individuals. This is the time that we need to stand together. This is the time that we need to come together as a society, not having one Musasizi Martin fighting for his marks alone plus the committee, no, but having each and everyone on board for that common goal. Let's us all work together, and I think we can achieve that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. The same question to you, Kakaire Umar. What are some of the measures besides the Law Academic Guide Committee? Because from the evidence that we've had on record, these committees have not yielded, because it has been a continuous cry, despite the fact that the Law Academic Guide Committees are in existence.
Thank you so much, Mr. Konyeta. On that issue, remember, these marks are on a personal basis. This takes us back to the person writing these exams. Therefore, as he stated that we are going to be united in this, I mean this like this. A person missing marks, he or she is supposed to report that issue where it is supposed to be reported to a person going to handle that issue. Again, that it will come again as between we people and creating the relationship between the administration and the students and then the leaders. One of the reasons why these marks it is hard to trace them, it is that we are divided between the administration, the leaders, and then the students. But if a student, he or she is himself is in good condition with the leader is in good condition with the lecturer, or the leader is good condition with the administration, I think with that we are going to trace for the students' marks, so that every person is having his or her marks, and the table there is supposed to be.
Okay. Next question. It goes to both of you. But who should I ask first? Let me give you the power to choose. Who wants it first? Okay. Do you believe in delegation?
Delegation, I do.
Yes. What are some of the duties that you can delegate in LSS as a president? And what are some of them, of the duties that you cannot delegate as a president of law school?
That will take me to Article 13 of our Constitution as amended. One of the duties of a president is supposed to appoint members of the committees. I think those are the duties that I cannot handle by myself, but I can delegate them to other people. However, the duties that I can't delegate, for example, the duty of being a signatory to the society fund, for that I can't delegate such a duty. Therefore, one of my duties, or the delegation that I can delegate to another person, they are the responsibilities that I'm put to appoint the members on the committees or the committee heads as provided for by Article 13 of our Constitution as amended.
Do you want to intend, or do you want to mention out to our dear viewers there that you can delegate appointment? What are some of the things you cannot delegate? And what are those you can delegate?
One of the things I can delegate, as I stated earlier.
Yes. You said signatory.
Signatory. I can't delegate a signatory.
Yes.
Another thing, I can't delegate the powers of being the president of the society, because that one, it represents the students as a large, as a society, and the society to solve.
Okay, back to Martin. Do you believe in the power or the notion of delegation? You've been in the society and you've seen these things. From your own experience, what are some of the delegable duties and the non-delegable duties in the society of LSS, many campus?
Thank you very much for that question. Some of the delegable duties, those that are handled by the committees, the Constitution provides for committees such as the Moot Court Committee, the Law Academic Guide Committee, the Debate Committee, and other committees as well. So the president is entrusted with powers of appointment of those chairpersons of those committees. And when he's appointing them, he's delegating them to go and do that work on his behalf. Let him go and handle it. He's giving them positions and entrusting them with the mantle to handle those committees to ensure that services are reached to the students down there. So those are some of the duties that are delegable in the Constitution in our law student society. And then the powers that cannot be delegated, one, his appointing power. That cannot be delegated because the Constitution provides for offices that he is entrusted to appoint. However, he can actually have an appointing committee to help him with that duty, not delegating to them, but helping him carry out that duty as the Constitution requires him to do so. And the other thing, as my colleague stated, the president is the chief accounting officer to the Constitution. He's the chief accounting officer of the society, and this is power he cannot take himself from and give it to another person. However, they are the chairpersons, the secretaries, the finance secretaries, all those are under him. Him as the chief accounting officer, that power he cannot delegate it to any other person. And those are some of the powers he as a president cannot do away with.
Okay, thank you so much. Seems all of you are talking about appointment. Apart from the president, LSS, who else has appointing powers?
Apart from the president, okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kwame. We have in the vice lady of our society. She has appointing powers, she can appoint.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, Mr. Martin, apart from you, the president, who else has appointing powers in LSS?
Like my colleague stated, the vice lady has powers to appoint people to the government, especially on the ladies' side. The committee heads also have powers. The president can entrust them with powers of appointing members of their committees, those they think are capable, actually those who are capable and those they are willing to work with. Those committee chairpersons have that power of appointment as well.
Did you say the lady vice can appoint heads of committees?
She cannot appoint heads of committees, but she has certain offices that she can appoint.
Okay, quickly, the lady vice can appoint the legal advisor, the chairperson of the disciplinary committee, and the chairperson of welfare. That is purely in the docket of the lady vice. She appoints 3, not more than 3 people. Yes, on the executive. Another one, quickly coming back to Martin, addressing yourself to Article 13. Seems all of you crammed the article, or you understood the article, so you knew what we were contesting for. Article 13, I'm interested in you because I'm seeing here something, the General Secretary, and that's the office that you're serving as per now. It says, that is Article 13, I think clause 5. It says the president shall, in liaison with the general secretary, coordinate all activities of the society. Let me ask you this question. It will either take a yes or no. Have you been the general secretary?
Yes.
Are you still the general secretary of LSS? Do you take the liability of all activities of LSS?
Liability?
Yes. If there is any default in your governance, do you take liability?
It's the government.
Yes. Yes. No, you as a Martin, do you? Mean the General Secretary, do you take liability?
I'm supposed to take liability, but there is an exception to that.
What's the exception?
The exception is we are supposed to work together as a society. However, there are instances where your advice is not taken up by those people you anticipate to work with, and because of that, you are let down. Not because you wanted to be let down, but because they did not follow that advice that you have given them.
Assuming you also act ultra vires, I will use that such a term. Assuming you also don't borrow the ideas of your general secretary if you go through as a president, the next general secretary. What do you advise somebody who is coming as a general secretary?
One thing I should tell you is that I'm a person who's someone who welcomes any ideas that come on board, and I'm not that type of person that works in isolation. I love working with people, and I'm that kind of person that wants us to come up to a conclusion, both me and the general secretary, whoever we shall be working with, so that we move within the same direction. Not I taking that direction while them are taking the other direction. So it's better if they have ideas, we sit on a table and see a way forward for both of us and the rest of the society as well. So my advice is that whoever will be the general secretary, I'm willing to work with them and listen to their ideas and their opinions on how we can run the society and make the society, a way much better place than it is right now. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Back to you, Mr. Kakaire Umar. Yes, seems you're well acquainted and well versed with the Article 13 too. Yes, I'm quickly hinting on a few things. We've had the chairperson debate committee, we've had chairperson multi-court committee, we've had the senior presidential advisor, we've had the association chair. Which committee, in your opinion, has not merited? And what are some of the measures that you think shall be used to make sure these committees merit to their expectation?
That's a beautiful question. Because such a question is the reason why I decided to come and contest as a president for our society.
I just want to mention one committee and criticize it with the backing.
The debate committee.
Yes.
The debate committee, the article says that it is supposed to carry out training, debate training and publicity training for the students. But since I joined here, I have never seen the debate committee training anyone or training any person for public speeches or for public training concerning the debate committees. Therefore, according to me, these committees are supposed to be put in the hands of proper people who are supposed to enforce. As a president, I'm looking at that when I'm having powers of appointing such people, I'm going to appoint people who are going to enforce the constitution as regarding to that committee, saying that every person is gaining, is benefiting, is getting that practical approach of the law that is supposed to be having in our society. Because such committees, they are supposed to be enforced because they are the ones that are making the bones of our society. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm still with you, sir. Feel free. You can take. Feel free. It's a free conversation. And another question. There's no information on record that you've taken any position in LSS. Neither have you been a coordinator of LSS. What do you think you can do for the society, given that you've not been in the system and you perhaps could not be in the know about the dynamics of LSS? What do you think you are going to bring in the society? And why, because you answer this together, why were you waiting for this time to contest as president law school? Because the constitution provides for other positions that you could contest for even in year 1 and year 2. Why were you waiting purposely for year 3 to come for president?
Thank you so much for such a beautiful question. That question you have asked me, it is really very good. That I personally have not been having any position in the society, but I've been having some leadership elsewhere outside the society. And with that, I've been the district secretary of the Youth Council. With that, I'm on the legal advisor of FaceOff Foundation Africa. With that, and I've been gaining some abilities or some practical ways of enhancing the leadership or making proper the people that I'm leading. With this, the reason why I've come to contest as a president of our society this time around, it is that it is the president who is supposed to appoint the committees that are making the bones of our society. For example, these committees, the moot court committee, the debate committee, the academic guide committee. For example, the academic guide committee, it is the one who's supposed to enforce all the academics of our society. The debate committee, it is the one to guide us in the practical approaches of our law. Therefore, with that, as a person in power, or the reason why I have contested this, I have come to appoint people who are capable for these committees, such that I enforce those people to put the things straight as they were supposed to be. Because if I'm in another position, I will not be able to enforce those committees as the president can do.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Our time is fast spent. Then, quickly, Mr. Martin, you've had so many submissions from our learning colleague, and people have also got the chance to listen from your submissions and they get addressed to the same. Hoping you've addressed yourself to the Constitution. What are some of the grounds that one can lose his or her office?
The Constitution provides for one, if that person is not of sound mind, then they can lose that office. If they have misused that office, if they have maybe used it for corruption and all of that, then they can leave that office.
Yes, quickly, I wanted that question to lead us to something. Of late, you've heard about so many petitions about accountability in the society, some perceiving it in the proper sense and others perceiving it in the negative sense. What is your take on the same? And how will you solve this? We've seen even people threatening, people within the committee, threatening so many disagreements. People are not willingly giving out accountability to the auditor, even when we have the auditor. What are some of the incumbents that you people think will put into place? Let me start with Martin and then Umar. Probably less than 2 minutes to complete. Take a minute and he take.
On that aspect of accountability, I strongly agree that there is need for accountability, there is need for transparency, because the money that is used by the society is student money that they subscribe with. So there is need for it to be used in a proper manner and easily to be accounted for. So I agree and I strongly believe that there is need for accountability. And on the aspect of people coming up with complaints and not working, they're not giving the proper accountability to the auditor and all of that, this goes back to the category of people that are put in those positions. The people that need to be in those positions, and the people that need to be in those positions are those people that have the zeal, the passion to see the society develop, not those ones that want to, milk the society.
What will you put in place?
One thing I need to put in place is that we have a transparent plan, a work plan on how the society activities should be carried out, so that people know that on this day, such activities take place, and this is the amount of money that is being used. Okay. And on the other aspect, the Constitution provides that there should be a weekly accountability given, a report given by the auditor, and this should be enforced. It should be enforced, and so that people see that their money is doing something, and that all starts from having a work plan that is grounded.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. You say the worker plan and then enforcement of the weekly or the timely accountability put on hotspots. That I agree with you. Kindly.
Thank you so much for that question. To me, the reason is that we need a strong government which is able to account and make proper the monies that are paid by the students. One of the things that I'm going to put if I come into power is to make sure that I connect or I ally with the administration to put in measures the remedies for those people who are embezzling students' money. The reason why these people are continuing to embezzle the people's money. It is because they do not have where we are not taking actions against them. A person comes and claims that yes, I have taken this sum of money, and we all agree that he has taken. But now what next? We are saying that yes, we have taken this money, but what next? If we put measures that the person who has taken this amount of money is supposed to compensate this, I think that one will deter any person who intends to embezzle that money, because I think that money is too much for a person. Because me, I'm taking my 20,000, a person is taking this money, a parent is paying that 20,000 to make sure that the activities of the society run. But if a person goes back ahead to eat that money, I think it is really a disservice for the society.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. His is the deterrent. You also gave negotiation and then implementing the rules. It's still the way. So kindly, because our time is fast spent, a word to the viewers there in just a second.
To our viewers out there, especially those of
the viewers and your manifesto in a minute.
Yes, to our viewers, thank you, Mr. Moderator. So, to our viewers out there, especially those in the Law Student Society, the society is each and every one in that. It is each and every one of us. So, this calls for us to work together to make sure the society is better, and this is the time. I bring you the LSS idea that deals with 5 aspects: individual realization, to help people better themselves, know their capability. The other aspect is society development, solicit for funds from outside and put activities in the society so that the society develops. And the other aspect is entertainment, because out of class work, there's a lot that needs to be done. If we can have a social gathering, we share, have a soccer game, have a basketball game, have a tea, we share, so that we can develop that social aspect within us, because we are colleagues. And the other aspect is academics. That's the 5th aspect. It's academics. We need to develop, because that's the main reason as to why we are at school, to ensure that we are grounded within the academics. And this helps us to better this. The idea I bring to you is that the society that we want to create is one that is going to help you benefit, help you improve on your academics.
Okay, thank you so
much.
much.
And the other aspect is transparency.
You say different.
Yes, that's
And
the
now
last
6
one. No, the last one is the 5th one, which is transparency. And that is through us having activities that everyone can see from the plans that have been made by the society. And I hope that if we work together, there's a lot we can achieve.
Okay,
I assure you that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Martin. Yes, next.
Greetings once again to the viewers outside there. My name is Kakaire Umar. Points on my manifesto, the first point is the academic prosperity. That goes back to us, because this is the main reason why we are here. We need to make sure that everything that is academic is better the way it is supposed to be. For example, we need to embark on the practical approaches of the law and many other things. We need to see that we are advocating for the best lecturers. We are advocating for unified reading list for every person. And then the other issue is that we are bridging gaps between the students and then the students and administration. With that, we are going to be creating gaps between the administration to help us follow for the problems or for the issues that are pertaining with the student society. And then another point is that we are going to embark on creating the Student Administrative Office. With this, we are going to be creating a centralized office for the students where all the issues pertaining to the students are going to be solved. And then the 5th issue is about the publicity of our society, because this is where we all belong. We are not seen. We need to be published. We need to make sure that every person knows where we belong, knows where we are, knows that LSS Mbale or the faculty of IUSU Mbale has these people, has vibrant lawyers. And finally, we are looking at creating a stronger society with accountability, with transparency among its leadership. With that, we are not going to be having issues of people taking our money that we are subscribing. With that, we are not going to be having issues that the activities of our society are left to a smaller group of people. With that, we are going to make sure that every person is involved in the society. Okay. I call upon you to join Kakaire Umar, because all these are possible when we join efforts. I remain Kakaire Umar. Come support, come vote, everything. Come 2nd May. I need you. The society needs you. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, please. We had Kakaire Umar. We had from Martin. Thank you so much, our dear listeners and our dear viewers there. My name is Watenga Silagi Wamini. It has been I, Wamini, the former presidential candidate for LSS, though I lost. And,
But you are the president now.
Yes, I'm now serving as the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. But thank you so much. I wish you all the best. People have great ideas. There are so many things we've not exhausted because of time, but you have great ideas. I see if any of you passes through in this election, it's not a war. You can decide to work together. And to our listeners there, please vote for the best candidate. You've listened to them, you've watched them. So please kindly have a handshake. We're not going for war. It is a brotherhood race. And I beg that you people promote politics of unity, love, and care for everyone.
Thank you so much.